Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. And I'm really mad because we're talking about Rian Johnson's trilogy again. How many videos have I done about that? But this is an important one. So let's talk about the Rian Johnson trilogy being officially canceled or an official update for Celebration. And you're not getting one! You're not getting either at Star Wars Celebration 2019. So before I get more into the topic, you see that like button? Imagine it's Rian Johnson's head and smash the hell out of it for another Rian Johnson trilogy video. When is the last update you heard directly from Lucasfilm on Rian's trilogy? None! In over a year, no official updates. Anytime they say what they're working on, his trilogy, his next Star Wars film, is magically absent. The only updates you're getting is from Rian himself. And I'm going to tell you the truth about his bullshit trilogy. By the way, the initial announcement was a scam to get fans in the seats to buy Last Jedi tickets. I think it's practically proven now because he wasn't knee-deep in the trilogy then. He didn't even start it. What was he busy doing? Developing Knives Out? There was no reason. It was to create false hype for Last Jedi because he wasn't put on 9, and there was a reason he wasn't put in 9. He wasn't too busy to work on Episode 9 because he was starting a new trilogy. It was because they had to bring JJ back to do damage control on the trilogy that they knew was going to be divisive. They knew ahead of time. Do you really think that there's going to be an announcement or even an update at Celebration that Disney, if there was, and that Disney or Lucasfilm would want Rian to talk about it at CinemaCon a week or so before Celebration? Is it a coincidence that only updates about his trilogy are from him or his buddy Ram Bergen? No, no, and no. This is coming from a 30-plus year veteran of the movie industry. If something is not constantly moving forwards, it's moving backwards. If the hype surrounding a project leaves or it gets stale, it's dead in the water or a joke. And that's all his trilogy is now. It's a joke. Just like the Rotten Tomatoes fresh statue he's holding. He's a joke. His trilogy's a joke. And Rotten Tomatoes is a joke. It's like saying Ben Affleck is still being Batman. His trilogy's going to happen when we see Ben Affleck in the next Batman movie. Or the only other time social media mentions him anymore is for April's Fool Day joke. Or to get hate clicks by just saying it's still a thing. They know it's a joke too. They just want to announce. They want to make that article. They don't even bother making the articles saying his trilogy is still going forward. Because everyone knows. The biggest fool of Star Wars was the butt of everyone's joke on April 1st. Including one of my videos. So, what is the reality of Rian Johnson's trilogy? Because even if you don't believe me, let's look at what really happens in Hollywood by the past. Right now, he has a contract to develop a trilogy and write it. And that's it. And you know what? He probably still has that contract. He can act on it. Because you know what? Hollywood doesn't officially fire anyone unless you're caught with your pants down. But if it's not moving forward, it's dead in the water. So if he acts on it, takes the time to write an outline for a trilogy, and then maybe script the first episode of the trilogy. Do you know how many scripts and projects that movie studios pay to develop a project that never get made? The majority of them! There are more projects, scripts, and projects in vaults or libraries of studios than the ones that actually get made. So why would Rian be doing this? Well, he is a pompous ass, and he won't back down, but he's not getting the green light either. You know when Rian's trilogy was actually done and killed officially? And this is the way Hollywood works. They don't officially announce it's done. But really, if you read between the lines and look at the reality of things, when they announced the D.B. Weiss and David Benioff films, that's when his trilogy was done. That's how long ago it's been a joke. Everyone in Hollywood knows it. And if you notice, every time Lucasfilm gives the update on the D.B. Weiss and David Benioff films, Rian's trilogy isn't mentioned at all. There's a good reason for that. It's not going forward, it's going backwards. So what happens if he actually finishes developing the script in the trilogy? He still has to present it to Lucasfilm and Disney to get the green light and get the funds to do it. Right now, he just has the funds to develop it. He probably is getting paid for his script. That could go in a vault. You know how many scripts movie studios pay for? Even JJ had to get a green light for episode 9 when they had a deadline for it to start filming. He is not going to get that green light. And you know how I know how? Even taking away my personal bias against him and The Last Jedi, it's impossible. And this is everyone that talks about his trilogy does not address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is it's impossible to have two alternating trilogies or series of films in theaters at the same time for the same property. You cannot have a D.B. Weiss and David Benioff Episode 1 in theaters 2021. Then in 2022, have Rian Johnson's Episode 1 of his trilogy. It's franchise suicide. The general public will be confused as hell. And even if they try to do that, say you go ahead. Excuse me, I'm still recovering. Say you go ahead and do that. Have the D.B. Weiss Episode 2021. Have the Rian Johnson Episode 1 in 2022. Even if they try that. What would you do in 2023? Are you going to have Episode 2 of the D.B. Weiss trilogy series or Episode 2 of the Rian Johnson trilogy? It's impossible. The general public would be confused. It would cause problems for your franchise. That's why they push so hard for the Star Wars Stories movies. When they failed, they had no choice but to put Star Wars, when the Star Wars story movies, the standalone movies failed, they had no choice but to put Star Wars movies on a slowdown for this exact problem. This isn't the MCU. Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man trilogies are easily discernible for the general public because they have different characters, different powers, and different storylines. Star Wars has the Force, lightsabers, similar spaceships, normies, and the general public would be confused. You can't do it. Confusion wrecks movie studios' box office. So the next time some shill or fanboy goes on about how Rian Ruin's trilogy is still going to happen, share this video with them and ask them how in the hell it will be. How is it possible to have two series in the theaters at the same time before one's finished? Now, if Lucasfilm really wanted to go out of their way to accommodate Ruin, and they would have to go out of their way to keep his trilogy, that's just another reason it's not going to happen. They could move it to Disney Plus streaming, and it wouldn't get a theatrical release. Or have it in development hell until after D.B. Weiss and David Benioff series ends. Because they do need a new series after theirs ends. But they're not going to have simultaneous series in theaters. That's stupid. But Ruin would still have to be a relevant filmmaker by then. And if he is a relevant filmmaker, he may not want to do it. Or say he... Sorry, I'm trying to finish this topic. Or say that he's busy with something else, which happens all the time in Hollywood. Well, I was going to do it, but another opportunity came around. So, this is bullshit. Ruin is full of it. And Star Wars Celebration 2019 is going to prove he's full of it. Because Ryan's the only one talking about it. And if there was going to be an update, they would have it at Celebration and not from this Ruin's mouth. You want more proof? Think about this tweeter. Rian loves to tweet. Do you think if there was going to be an announcement that would vindicate his trilogy at Celebration that he would be talking about ahead of time? Do you think he'd be sounding off about it now? Or is it more likely he would want the vindication to come straight from the horse's mouth at Celebration? Speaking of Kathy, I'm going to be working on another video soon. Him talking about it shows he's a troll man, baby. Can't let things die. But his trilogy definitely is. Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. If you really think it is, wait till after Celebration. There's no announcement coming, or he wouldn't be talking about it. So, reminder to smash the hell out of that like button for videos like this. More to come. This is the calm before the storm. We're going to have a lot to talk about after Celebration. I'll see you in the next one.